Terrae Obscura.
The White Witch of Niles Canyon. There are roads that become something more than asphalt and painted lines. They transform into corridors between worlds, places where the boundary between our reality and something else grows dangerously thin. Niles Canyon Road, winding through the hills of northeast Fremont, is one such place. The locals call her the White Witch. But who or what is she really? It's February 1950. Fred Rogers is driving home late one night along Niles Canyon Road. The narrow highway snakes alongside Alameda Creek, its sharp turns and blind corners demanding complete attention. But something catches Fred's eye. Down by the creek, sitting on a rock, is a young woman in a white gown. She's combing her long, black hair. Concerned for her safety in such a remote location, Fred slows his car and drives towards her. And then, in an instant that would haunt him for years, she simply vanishes. She vanished in the way a rock does when you throw it into a river, he later told the Oakland Tribune. Fred searched both sides of the creek bank. He walked down to where she'd been sitting. Nothing. No footprints, no trace. As if she never existed at all. But Fred Rogers wasn't the first to see her, and he certainly wouldn't be the last. The legend of the White Witch dates back decades earlier, though pinpointing its exact origin is nearly impossible. The most common version tells of a young woman, some say a high school girl in a prom dress, who died in a car accident on Niles Canyon Road. The date varies slightly depending on who's telling the story. February 26th, or perhaps the 28th. The year changes too. The 1920s, the early 1930s, but the details that remain constant are far more unsettling. Every year, on the anniversary of her death, she returns. Drivers report seeing a normal-looking teenage girl walking along the dark, winding road. Some say she's hitchhiking. Those who stop to help describe the same scenario. She gets into their car and politely asks for a ride to San Francisco. Maybe she just needs to get home. The conversation feels ordinary, if a bit dated. But when the driver reaches the Dumbarton Bridge, or sometime sooner, they glance over to find their passenger has vanished from the seat beside them. On November 28, 1978, a Vietnam veteran named Bill and his wife Pat were driving from Livermore to Fremont when they came upon a massive roadblock. Police cars, swirling lights, officers standing in the road. As they slowly navigated around the scene, Bill's wife Pat noticed something disturbing. A small figure sitting at the roadside, laughing hysterically. And then they both saw her. A translucent woman with no legs and no facial features, floating at the edge of the road. So, who is the White Witch? Researchers have uncovered several tragic deaths connected to the canyon, each one potentially feeding into the legend. One investigator claimed to find records of a woman named Lucinda Lowry, supposedly buried at Pleasanton Memorial Gardens. Local newspapers suggested she might have been a runaway who disappeared into the canyon. The canyon's remoteness has made it a dumping ground for murder victims over the decades. Multiple bodies have been discovered there, some never identified. Perhaps the White Witch isn't one person at all. Perhaps she's an amalgamation, a spectral representation of every soul claimed by that treacherous stretch of road. If you find yourself on Niles Canyon Road late one night, and you see a young woman in white by the side of the road, well, that choice is yours to make. Maybe she just needs a ride home. Maybe she's been trying to get there for almost a century. Sweet dreams.